Do not let it be said that we didn't tell you so, ladies and gentle fans, for it was here, both on the Six Rings postgame show, as well as on the highly regarded Six Rings podcast, where we told you that the Patriots would be able to score by putting Marcus Jones on offense. And then...
that's all we had, because they scored with Marcus Jones on offense, and the rest, well, it is what it is, as the coach likes to say.
Oh, my... That's Patriots coach Bill Belichick at the podium, speaking after the Patriots were just embarrassed, demoralized, outrun, outshone, outworked, outplayed. You picked the outword 24-10 in a game that, quite honestly, Andy,
wasn't that close.
I know it's a sports radio cliche, but guess what?
Pump the brakes on that.
Now, listen, be that as it may.
Hey, it wasn't as ugly as last January, was it?
The X's and O's were outdone by the pros and Joes. They're out there collecting checks, too.
They are. They get paid, too. Josh Allen, pretty good player now. Pretty good player. No, that was...
at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, which is sort of the end of the day now, that was really disappointing. And I think your season just ended. And I know I'm a drama queen. Like, you're 6-6. You've lost 2 in a row. You gave away a game you probably could have stole last Thursday night
which you
in
needed
Minnesota.
as a sort of mattress topper comfort layer to protect you against any possible losses or embarrassments like this one on your way to trying to, as we've said before, carve a path to the postseason. What would a berth in the postseason, what would a trip to the playoffs even matter now if this is the kind of effort you're going to put forth, especially... Well, yeah, because it gives us something else to talk about for 2 weeks.
No, I think it's always better to make the playoffs. I don't go down the Ben Volen road of like, if you're just going to suck in the playoffs, you might as well not even go. No, you should always go. The issue is you're not going to the playoffs because you can't cover an opposing wide receiver who's any good. Like, people are fixated on quarterbacks.
Steph Diggs, by the way, Steph Diggs isn't just an opposing wide receiver who's kind of good. I'll say this not because it was like, ooh, lucky you, Fitz, you had access tonight. I'm standing on the field in the last couple of minutes before running out to introduce the band at halftime. And I was right there in the corner of the end zone where Josh Allen rolled out. No human, by the way, is supposed to be able to do what Josh Allen is able to do. He is
freak. He's a unicorn. We overuse unicorn. He's a unicorn.
I don't even say there may still he's better than whatever a unicorn is. Like he's beyond anomalous.
Unicorn doesn't exist. So
okay, well,
it's weird. He exists and he kicks their ass.
So that's why he's different. And my gosh, like where is the tag? Where is the brand or the stamp on Bill Belichick or the Patriots that says property of Josh Allen? Because he owns the New England Patriots. But
ever since Bill said he wasn't an MVP candidate. Good job, Bill.
Nice job lighting
you
fire
created
under
this
that
monster.
ass.
Now you got to deal with it, and you can't.
Can't put it away. You can't put it away. But
the bigger issue is the receivers.
Andy, that freaking pass that Josh Allen threw on the run against his body, he threw it from the 48-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
It traveled 55 yards in the back right corner of the end zone. Diggs, who had gotten just enough separation to leap past, I believe it was Jonathan Jones.
Jack Jones.
The
one that didn't count, you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
The one that didn't count.
Yeah.
And it landed exactly like a laser, a frickin' laser. An algorithm could not have designed a better pass.
But the problem is
they're not real.
You don't necessarily have to face Josh Allen again. Well, you do have to face him again at the end of the year. But every week you don't have to face Josh Allen.
I recant what I
you
previously
actually do
just
have to
said.
face
You
Josh
do have
Allen
to play him one more time.
But
it's not going to matter.
The
if
number
they play
one
like this,
receivers
it's not
issue
matter.
is the biggest issue to me. Like, you clearly, we talked about this. Are they big, padding their stats against bad offenses? What's going to, like, you couldn't hang with Justin Jefferson. This whole idea.
They stink.
They kind of
There's
do.
caller Keith from 2 weeks ago who will be our spirit animal and a recurring character on this evening's Six Rings postgame show.
They lose this game in part because you can't cover Diggs, just like you lost last week in major part because you couldn't cover Jefferson. And the problem is D-Hop, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase. Like, they're all great receivers. Oh, Tyreek Hill. Sorry, forgot him.
And Jalen Waddle. And then Steph Diggs again.
Diggs again. Like, I feel bad for Jonathan Jones. I don't believe he's a number one corner. He shouldn't be an outside corner. Bill is not dumb. There was a reason that for the first 7 years, Jonathan Jones was a slot corner. That's because he's a slot corner. And I had real corners.
And a very good one at that.
I had Stephon Gilmore. I had J.C. Jackson. I had outside guys. Bill doesn't just bury people for the sake of burying them in that position. And now you're asking him to just line up in front of Jefferson, in front of Diggs. That first touchdown to Diggs, the 8-yarder, he shook him by
like a good 3-4. Like he had plenty of room in the left corner of the end zone.
Like a college corner trying to cover an NFL corner or something like that. Like it was a mismatch. And people should be worked up as the lines start to light up here at
well, we just got the Griswold family Christmas tree. I haven't even given out the phone number yet. Yes, this is the Six Rings postgame show. Your old pals Nick Fitzy Stevens and Andy Jumbo Hart with you till 2 a.m. here at Disappointment Central, a.k.a. we just got our doors blown off Incorporated,
well,
a.k.a.
come on.
the build. That was not close. It was not that close.
It was closer than 47-17.
It felt like 47-17, the sequel, because if a sequel delivers 60% of the returns and the emotional investment of the original, then it's actually a successful sequel. So to Buffalo fans, this feels like a validation and continuation of their dominance. And for Patriots fans, it feels like a hollow start to the holiday season.
No, you know what it feels like?
617-779-7937 is the phone number to call up, vent, complain. You need therapy, piss and moan, get angry, yell, try to keep the curse words to a minimum until at least we're in radio safe harbor after midnight. Producer Nick LePan does a great job muting the majority of them, but we're only so good.
I would never push people away from Patriots content since, that's our livelihood.
It's kind of what
Podcasts,
we do.
Podcasts, written things, audio on the radio.
You holding
TV.
up an iPhone with a shaky hand. Thank you, McFarland.
I had a shaky one the other day. I think I had too much coffee.
I have told you 1,000
Shut
times.
up! I don't care.
Put it on a tripod, you knucklehead.
I don't have a tripod. I'm
I
Frank Gore.
I can help you get one for. That's my joke.
I know.
But you could get you can get one from Amazon for $10.
Okay, well, look at you promoting Amazon. Ooh, the game's on Amazon. I'm Fitzy.
Well,
I'm
actually,
a brand guy.
Hey, Amazon, I love you. You're great.
Amazon was nice enough to put me on the pregame show and then put me on the field. And
they put you on the pregame show?
They did.
And just when I thought it couldn't get worse than it already was.
See, I wasn't going to say that tonight just because I knew that would be your joke. Nick, would you please go around the corner and cash the ticket at 7-Eleven because I knew Andy would say that.
I feel like there's a chance that some of your people are going to turn their back on the team. Like, it's the holidays, the Celtics are good, the Bruins are good.
So you're saying the fraud squad is going to be like, screw
Pack
you guys, I'm going home, see you in 2023.
Yeah, I think this is the type of game in the type of season and the type of performance. It's not so much that they lost 24 to 10. It was embarrassingly bad at the end when Mac Jones is running around like a chicken with his head cut off, then throwing it to either a receiver who's already out of bounds so it could nearly be picked off, or it bounces off Bourne.
Poor Trent Williams or Trent Brown.
I would have taken Trent Williams.
I would have taken actor Treat Williams at left tackle tonight. Trent Brown is just absolutely useless. Like, you could see he had no gas left in the tank.
Sick.
He's sick. Whatever illness was in the Buffalo locker room, it was separate from the one in the Patriots locker room, but there were a number of people that were sick. He was basically just like, when you're either overserved, tired, both, whatever, and you use your shoulders to throw your legs forward because the legs don't work.
Yeah.
Like, that's what poor Trent Brown was doing at the end of the
game.
He
couldn't even warm up. He stayed in the locker room and didn't warm up before the game. That tells you how sick he was. So I give him credit for gutting it out because they're decimated. No win, right. No Cajuste. Like,
the heck was wrong with Cajuste?
He's got multiple injuries. It's like back and calf or something. I don't know. There's a couple different injuries listed.
You couldn't play on Onwenu at right tackle where he was actually reasonably good. If
you
not
had Connor McDermott
time.
there.
And how'd that work out for you?
Not great,
Bob.
No, but Bill likes Onwenu at guard. He has said that repeatedly. He thinks he's a guard.
Great. So, stand. You know what? Die on that hill, Bill. Keep fighting that fight. Put the flag.
He's got a lot of hills to die on. He's going to be a really dead man soon.
Honestly.
There's a lot of hills he needs.
And you know what we're going to hear? And, of course, we will take you live to Mac Jones's press conference when it happens. We'll take you live to Coach Bill Belichick's press conference when that happens. I'm sure that is going to be an absolute delight and a treat. Bring your own salt to the party. Maybe we'll be able to get in on another couple press conferences live or perhaps tape delayed.
He could swear tonight. There could be some slip up tonight.
We'll see if Kyrie Thompson, our beat writer, WEEI.com, can bring you just a little bit of audio from the locker room. And, of course, we'll get a call in from Christian Foyer driving home.
You sure?
Yes, we will. He was good about it last week, even on Thanksgiving night. He'll call in.
He skipped the week before.
Okay, well, we didn't need him. We had the Jets. It was fine.
We don't ever need.
No, actually, want to know the funny thing? The post-game show after the Jets game ended at 7:30. I got a text at 8:16, and it was like, "Yo, still need me?" It was like, Christian,
show's over.
The post-game show ended 45 minutes ago.
Dillweed.
That's exactly the kind of move that calls for a bad 1980s insult, like, you dingus.
Well, there's a lot of things you can't say on the radio, so I figure if you say
so we have to pull out like old lame
dweeby
insults.
ones. Yeah,
like Dillweed. By the way, there's going to be a lot of sidebars and digressions tonight, folks, because A, we're punchy, B, we're overtired.
Team sucks.
And C, that game sucks. And we're all just completely in dismay and disarray over tonight's effort. Let's go back to when it was 7-3. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the
just
Patriots
after Marcus Jones ignited Gillette Stadium yet again.
couldn't even send
He's
you a
the
text.
human lighthouse. He lights it up.
I'm in the other end zone on my way to try to get up to the press box to say a few hellos, make some notes, and then drive back this way. But no, I'm down in the end zone. I want to watch a few plays from that nice little perspective you get in the 200s there. And all of a sudden, I see Marcus Jones catch, and he's running towards the end zone. And I pull out my phone to try to do a quick reaction video and text you. And all of a sudden, someone comes over and picks me up by the waist and like, Fitzy, you called it. You called it. See, people are listening, kid. People are
Lots
listening.
of people.
And
The immediate reaction on Twitter, everybody remembers.
Yes.
Six Rings Big. A lot of people think Bill actually got the idea from our podcast.
I wouldn't be surprised. And or perhaps Bill remembered that he scored a touchdown 4 different
I was
ways
gonna
in
say,
college.
He did play offense in college.
Yeah, he did. And so, it was raucous. The Patriots defense toughened up in the area outside the red area. We'll call that maybe the pink area, the red adjacent area, the 20 to 30.
The pink area? I don't think that's okay.
I told you it was going to be.
Wow. Have you been drinking? Why are you so happy? You're a super fan. You have a Pat Patriot hat on, a Pat Patriot sweatshirt on, and the Pat Patriot team just lost for the first time. First time.
They're 3-3 at home.
7-0.
They're not good at home. They're not good on the. They're adequate. They are literally adequate at home.
They're not good.
Adequate at road.
Period. End of paragraph. Send.
That's it. Full stop.
Yes.
They stink.
What are they good at?
Thank you, Keith.
I've been asking this all year.
I actually don't know.
What are
now.
they good
I
at?
don't know now because even the thing that
Ramondre
I relied
Stevenson
on
fights to the finish. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. The comfortable chair, your dependable pair of jeans, your favorite shoes, whatever brand of beverage, whether it's eggnog,
Miller
or
Lite,
beer, whatever. You don't have to name check a brand. They're not paying for it yet. Whatever that may be that
Please
you go to, your favorite sandwich at the diner, meatloaf sandwich, turkey club, whatever, chicken
Italian
parm.
in the oven.
All right, I'm done with the analogies. Whatever it is you could lean on and rely on, that would be Nick Folk, always good from within 50. And tonight, he decides to, instead of swinging a 3-iron, bring out his 7-iron and take an easy chip at the green.
Short kick, Nick.
You know what? Big kick, Nick. He is no
Little
more.
kick energy there.
Let it be known that we do not have little kick energy tonight. We've got. Big
I have
kick
plenty of energy. I have no focus.
Now that I just chugged a 24-ounce coffee, he is Little Kick Nick now because that's twice within 3 weeks, twice within 3 games. He has come up short from within 50.
What's
now
changed?
One, the holder, Michael Pilardi. The Pilardi party.
I reserve the possibility
Over.
that Pilardi could be a factor in this.
It's
weird that it's dramatic right after he changes holders. And I know people are like, oh, he got the laces out. It's far more intricate than that. These kickers have holds for hash, wind condition, distance, it's towards the holder and forward a little bit or back a little bit. And so I'm hesitant to say Nick Folk is in a slump or Nick Folk has fallen off the map in recent weeks. It's a little too coincidental that it's coincided with Michael Pilardi.
Okay, but at the same, but I can tell you,
coincided.
the 2 times this has happened, I have had the good and or misfortune of being field level, like I said.
Jeez, you like to brag about, I'm
no,
Nick
but I
Fitzy
can
Stevens,
see
I'm
it.
on the field.
Isn't it interesting? You can listen to other post-game shows where people that aren't hosting the show or engaging in dialogue didn't have access to actually being right there. Could have hit Nick Folk with a baseball or a hot dog if they wanted to. I wouldn't throw either of them at the man. I respect him and appreciate him too much. Andy, he takes this weird thing. What he does is that, like I said, I think from within 50, one of the reasons why he's so incredibly accurate is because he does swing like a 7, 8, or 9 iron with his foot. He's not trying to blast it through. He just wants to hit it well enough, clear the uprights.
Right.
And I think tonight he didn't try. He didn't kick it hard enough. Literally, obviously he didn't because it hit the bottom crossbar. Now, a couple weeks ago against the Jets, there was a ton of wind. There was wicked wind, a cross breeze. It was even colder a few weeks ago. Tonight, mid-30s, not nearly as much wind in-game as there was pre-game and during the tailgates. And I think Folk just stepped up with a 7-iron thinking he'd be able to mash it and punch it through the uprights. And instead, he's like, oh, how about that? I had no idea I'd be 10 feet in front of the green. I'm short. Hits the bottom crossbar for the second time in 3 games. That's weird. That is very strange.
And you're blaming it on him.
I am, and I hate that.
It's weird that I don't.
You really think it's Pilati?
I think the holds are a factor. I do.
Wow.
Like, to me, that's so obvious. Like, he's been so good, so consistent for such a long stretch. What's changed?
Is he aiming and not pitching? You know what I mean?
No. I'm going to blame the holder. I'm a Nick Folk apologist.
And usually I am as well, but I'm telling you.
I know, you turned your back on the team like the rest of the fans that were booing in the first half.
I did not boo. I was surprised. But, of course.
Did you hear any while you were on the field watching the game? Did you hear any Zappy chants?
No, actually.
Any references to Zappy?
Nope.
Nothing?
No, I get a bunch of Zappy texts.
I came up with a new plan. Forget Zappy.
Hold on. We've got a long show.
Yeah, but I can say it now.
You want to just give away the 12 o'clock goods in the 11 o'clock hour?
Just empty it early.
Sure.
Empty it early. Marcus Jones, just put him at quarterback, run Wildcat. Just let him get the ball in his hands. I'm advocating to get the ball in Marcus Jones' hands.
I would watch that
Jones
team.
and Stevenson, to me, are the only two guys with a little bit of mixed in of Judon and Uche maybe on defense. That's all I want to see.
Remember when I think it was wide receiver? Is it Kendall Hinton? Was that the wide receiver that had to play a couple of years ago? Thank you. Kendall Hinton had to play emergency quarterback in 2020 for the Broncos because the entire quarterback room had COVID.
Yeah.
That was not a good watch, and it was against a pretty mediocre Saints team.
Was this a good watch?
No, but you know what I would watch is Marcus Jones at quarterback.
Me too.
And then maybe Jacoby Myers could throw a couple of deep balls on some option plays. Because what's going on?
If he wakes up from the hit he took.
Mac Jones, poor Mac Jones. It's not all Mac Jones' fault. It's not your fault, McCorkle. It's not your fault. But at the same time, there's gonna be so many Mac ain't it. I'm sure people are texting. People are probably at 37937 on the text line right now. It'll be a storyline tomorrow and all next week. But Patriots do now have 11 days off before they go on Monday Night Football out to Arizona to play the Cardinals.
That's Belichick's fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. And people are going to be like, I don't care. People are going to completely check out. It's not all Mac Jones' fault because, like you said, that line was decimated. That was almost an embarrassing offensive line tonight. Like at times the play from the offensive line tonight. You've got Ferentz out at left tackle. You've got Connor McDermott, who they just plucked off of the Jets practice squad a week and a half ago.
He was a draft pick of the Patriots.
I know, and they kept him around for what, 2 weeks?
6 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
We didn't
want him
Jets.
over half a decade ago, and now out of desperation, we're plucking him off a previous opponent's practice squad because we're so desperate to tackle.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of positives. When we get to the thumbs up, thumbs down late in the show.
One part of it's going to be real quick. The other one might take 2 breaks.
Actually, the other one is equally as quick, in my opinion, because it's easy to say everything. I'm done.
It's easy to say
everything
one person's
else.
name and then say, I mean, there are some players who acquitted themselves reasonably well tonight.
I didn't like the effort tonight. I'll be honest with you. I thought there was a lack of effort at times. Kirk Herbstreit.
Why would that be?
Resignation.
You believe so?
I think you can be resigned to the fact that we're not that good.
Is it we're not that good or we're not as good as Buffalo?
The rushing touchdown that the Bills scored late on 3rd and goal was just too easy to me. You shouldn't see touchdown unless you're confused, where they run like one of those fakes and then pitch it and like they get to the edge and you're like, oh wow, we got caught up in. They ran right up the middle, and the only guy that even had a sniff of a chance was a diving Matt Judon coming off the edge.
Judon gives
effort.
2 games in a row, though, doesn't get home and get a sack.
But this game, at least you had Josh Uche taking advantage of the backups at left tackle.
Right. He got the strip.
He got the strip sack. He had a couple sacks
picked up
early.
the fumble.
Judon picked it up. But like Judon's effort, I don't question. I think he's out of position at times, over rushes. I just thought there was, and I don't even.
That Willie McGinnis line, if I was able to play like Judon, I'd have 20 sacks.
But I don't even necessarily blame some of the players that are getting exposed. They're in positions to get exposed. John Jones, to me, is a poster child. He's like Matt Patricia, I believe, is in a position to get exposed. He's in a job he's not really capable of doing.
I feel like we're workshopping a column here together. Go on.
Kind of. John Jones is in that same situation. He's in a position where I don't say, wow, you can't cover Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson. He should be like, I'm Justin. I'm
converted
Jonathan
slot
Jones,
corner.
right?
Yeah.
Like, do you think who do you think I am? Do you think I'm Darrelle Revis? Do you think I'm Stephon Gilmore?
I'm not Patrick Surtain II either.
Do your job. Well, you're asking me to do somebody else's job. I did my job really well. You put me in the slot.
Then you changed my job on me.
I
tried it.
Yeah.
And I was good. I'm like John Jones has been good on the outside against middle class wide receivers, but when you're going up against one of the 10 best in the league, who's getting passes thrown to him by one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league, who really is just not even human, like we said before.
But there's a lot of those guys.
Right, but there are very few. There's Mahomes and Josh Allen, and then maybe one or two others.
Oh, no, I'm
in
talking
their
about the
class.
receivers.
The
The sad part is more than half the league has those types of receivers, like number one legitimate go-to receivers.
Would you say Steph Diggs is top 5?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah?
I mean, for what he's done, he seems like a dink, but
wanted
he's good.
out, yeah, and so was Adam Thielen, and he wanted away from Thielen so he could get a spotlight. They replaced him with Jefferson. The trade works out beautifully for both parties. Yep. See, this is what happens when you go after really good players and you spend equity on them, and guess what? You put him on a team with a good quarterback, and he becomes one of the boats that rises all tides.
And there's times where Josh Allen, who's great in his own right, but just drops back, and you can almost see like he's going to Diggs on this play. Just like we learned over the years.
Why wouldn't you?
Brady's going to Edelman. Brady's going to Gronk. Like, he
yep.
sees a matchup, and he's like, I know my guy's better than yours. And that makes your job easier. And we've talked about this a lot. Like, Mac is scrambling around with I'll play somebody get open. Oh, my God, who am I going to throw to? Where Josh Allen has the luxury, who can scramble and can make off-platform crazy throws, just drops back and goes, oh, Diggs on Jones one-on-one. Do-do-do. Pitch and catch, first down.
Whether it's 10
Touchdown.
in the corner of the end zone, whether it's 40 to the other corner of the end zone, rolling out, penalty withstanding. If it's 7 here, 8 over there, 14 to the out.
That's
people
a luxury.
People were open all night.
Oh, yeah.
Guys were open.
The secondary is not that good. Because Jones is just the poster boy tonight because he was in the picture, in the frame around Diggs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Bryant? No. I'm sorry. Devin McCourty has lost maybe more than one step. He is not the safety valve, cover your butt, back end guy anymore. He just isn't. Now, early on, I thought Duggar was laying some lumber, had some nice hits. I still think he's good, but he's not a coverage guy.
No,
that's actually the weakness in his game.
It's the hammer. It's the thunder to the lightning with Kyle Duggar.
But the back end just isn't. It is what we thought it was when you looked at it on paper. Oh, you lost J.C. Jackson. Who'd you replace him with? What was the question? Who'd you replace him with?
And Jack Jones, to a certain degree,
he's a rookie.
He's a rookie, so he's going to be out of position.
And what did he get on the play you're talking about? He got double moved. He's going to be an aggressive rookie. He's going to get double moved. Great receivers and great quarterbacks are going to double move to death a young, aggressive rookie. It's part of the learning curve. It's part of the evolution.
He's going to have to take those lumps this year to figure out how to defend those in the future. And he's also going to have to remember, because he is very aggressive, and that is what leads him to sometimes jump routes, make big plays, pick off passes, or knock balls down, that sometimes it's not a good idea when said safety is about to pick off a ball to run into him and knock it out of his hands. Because that interception they could have had late in the first half would have been, granted, the outcome probably would have been the same in the end.
It was
a
kind of a
win
punt.
nonetheless. But at the same time,
I actually liked that throw from a Josh Allen perspective. That showed me a guy who doesn't really care about the stats. He knows people are saying, oh, he throws too many picks, blah, 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 blah. I call that a Drew Bledsoe. Like, he used to do that all the time. It's a punt. It's third down. It's a punt. I'm going to throw it deep. He doesn't care about his stats. He's like, I have a chance to make a play. If they catch it, it's the punt job, right? I throw the ball 40 yards downfield. It's same. So I actually liked that play from him.
Whether you are driving home from the game, stuck in traffic on Route 1, by the looks of the stands, people made their way out of Gillette Stadium tonight quite earlier. Perhaps people have resigned to not even wanting to discuss this game. But if you're as frustrated as we are, if you've got a point you want to make, if you have something you want to vent about in the car, at home, from the aftergate, wherever you may be, we are here for you on the Six Rings postgame show, 617-779-7937. Just because we are men and fans of the people, let us make sure we welcome in our first call before we take a commercial break. Johnny is in Walpole. Remember that song growing up? Remember Johnny from Walpole?
Nope.
Me neither. Johnny from Walpole is on the line here on Six Rings postgame. What's up, Johnny?
You know, the highlight of the game was I made, before I went down to my friend's house, I made shrimp and sausage fried rice.
Oh.
That came out great.
Oh.
That was the highlight of the game. I really prayed to God that Bob Kraft pulls a Jerry Jones and just walks down tonight and says, all right, Bill, Patricia's got to go. That was just horrific. Compared to with the Jets game and tonight's game, just a horrible offensive game plan. Matt Patricia's got to go. And it's always, one of my friends is saying, oh, it's too late in the season. Who cares? The season's done. Matt Patricia sucks. This is embarrassing. This was a horrible game.
It's not going to happen. But the thing
you want to share that fried rice recipe, Johnny?
I would love to taste the highlight of the night. But I did actually think to myself, with Robert Kraft sitting in the box, with the head of Amazon on one side and Jay-Z on the other side.
And Richard Seymour there to boot. Like, you've got legacy, you've got history, and you've got celebrity.
A crap product on the field. That must have been a kick to the cojones. Oh, and then, by the way, looking down and seeing, did everybody go to the concessions at the same time? What are all these empty seats? Like, This is a loss that I feel like is going to leave a mark in the Kraft offices, Kraft box. Sitting with those, kind of being embarrassed with the performance you're putting up. But this one could leave him. I'll be interested to see if we get any whispers out of the owner was not happy. Because he sees it. He sees Mac Jones scrambling like a chicken and throwing his hands up in the air. He sees the face that Matt Patricia's making on the sideline.
Roll, a shrug. Yes. What am I going to do with this kid?
Like a lost cause.
Mac Jones is thinking, what am I going to do with this guy? Johnny, it was frustrating in every way, shape, or form. I'm glad you had a tasty pregame. Sorry that the meal was spoiled by the game, buddy. But thanks for calling in.
Matt Patricia sucks.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Andy. Like, I was building this up. I certainly thought the Patriots could keep pace, or they would put forth more than just some gamesmanship, more than just a game effort. That they would be up to the challenge. That they would rise to the occasion of having a chance to compete in their division, show that you are almost, if not up to and on par with Buffalo tonight on a national stage. The production, my God, what Amazon just throws at this with the billions and billions of Bezos. Like, this is Andy, it felt borderline Vegas-like down there tonight. Like, it is a big deal. All these trucks, brand new cameras, 50 cameras, spotters handing out Thursday Night Football merchandise everywhere. Like, they're branding, they're celebrating, they're illuminating. It is a big freaking deal. And the Patriots, I thought, would also rise to the occasion of playing Buffalo, trying to get back into the playoff race, maybe just putting one toe in the water of having a shot at the AFC East. No, instead, they cement their place in the bottom of the AFC East. Now they are a 500 team, trending towards possibly being a losing team if they can't beat Arizona in a week and a half. And now, like you said earlier, potentially running the risk of losing some of the casuals, if not the diehards, or who you call the fraud squad, a lot of the diehards who might say, this team ain't it, and I don't feel like putting it in on them anymore.
They stink.
I mean, it's very simple.
I wish I could disagree.
It's a cliche. We talked earlier about talk radio cliches, contenders and pretenders. Isn't it clear for 2 years the Patriots have been pretenders? Absolute pretenders. I mean, you can sigh, and I'm sorry to bring truth and objectivity,
it's okay. No.
But isn't it a fact? Like, I don't even feel like it's an opinion anymore.
No, it's not.
They are
like, you're
absolutely pretenders.
You're hearing somebody who does work
Sam
in the
Ellinger,
media.
we're going to kick his butt.
Oh, yay.
Oh,
wow.
is that Josh Allen coming?
We shut out Zach Wilson?
Right.
I mean, like, his own team hates him so much that they benched him.
Right.
I don't know. Sure, if we could beat Mike White at this point.
I mean, it's 2 years in a row that there is no better label for the New England Patriots, who were once annual contenders, who Robert Kraft has said recently, I expect to be a contender every year, are the ultimate pretenders. They're not terrible. They tease you by bullying on the weak, bullying on the young quarterbacks, the backups, or the soon-to-be bench.
They feast on the mediocre, but
then
they
real
themselves
teams
are
come,
just the king of the mediocre.
It's over. Right.
Yeah. They are not at the level of the Buffaloes or the Miamis probably, and we'll probably find out in just a few weeks. The Cincinnatis.
Maybe the LAs. The Chargers, like these teams that are either ahead of you or tied with you, you're a pretender.
I really thought this would be a chance to show that within the first 3 years, or as we head towards the final leg of the third year post-Tom Brady, that the roster turnaround, the rebuild, the drafting, and all of the high-level coaching done by the greatest coach of all time and the people that he has surrounded himself would have built up a team that could keep pace with, if not even pull the rug out from under Buffalo and get them a win tonight. And instead, they were pantsed, and Buffalo just had their way with the New England Patriots once again. Final score, once again, 24-10. Buffalo wins. They move to 9-3 and are technically, for now, atop the AFC East. The New England Patriots dropped to 6-6, 500 football team, 3-3 at home, 3-3 on the road, firmly in the basement of the AFC East. And I really don't care that 6-6 would be the top record in the NFC South right now.